Hello and welcome to Embellished Craft Studios. This is Diane here. I'm doing a collab with Crafty YouTubes United, a Valentine's one, and so we've got the hearts out. Surprise, surprise. These are molds from Little Windows. I'm going to be using UV resin. They're perfect for this because they are totally clear. Fran produces these fantastic she's gone now into multi-use molds of different kinds of things that you can do with the mold. This is a 3-in-1 mold that you can use for different things you can make. So I'm going to be showing over the next few things. You'll see them next few videos. There is the big mold, and you can make a little bow, a heart-shaped bow, or you can make pendants from it, and you can actually make a frame from it as well. So 3 different things you can do with the mold, as well as these 3-in-1 molds. They come, by the way, if you have a look at the top that I'm going to put on it, please use those to put over the things that you're making. That it makes a little stand to protect the work as you're letting things cure. As you can see, I also have got some Dichroic film from her. It's Dichro-ish Film. I use this. I tend to get 2 or 3 packs because I'm based in the UK, so I do actually get 2 or 3 packs of this film to save on postage. And if you contact her, then she does do a special deal where you can just order the the films, and she'll do a special postage in an envelope for you if you're in the UK. So please check her out, littlewindows.com. Now these films are very, very special because you can layer these up. You can just use one if you want, but they're all different colours. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of transparency and iridescent kind of a feel about them. Different kinds of tones of each colour as you move them. So I'm just showing you through them. I'm showing you the dark and what happens with the dark with the light. If you see the white, you can see the colours as they are. But then when you do a dark one, as people with resin know, you actually show the colour up better. But you'll see as you go on if you don't know about it. So these are all the different ones. These are colour ones, and if you saw as well, there are some texture ones as well. These also give a different effect as well. You can use them by yourself, or again, you can layer them with them. Now, this is if you're going to do a do it with me video. This is one of the things that I do as I warm my resin up. I actually use a coffee warmer. It's for a coffee cup. But I actually put my resin on there. It's quite cold at the moment in the UK. And I put my resin in before I start. It's up, the lowest it goes is 55. So don't leave it on all the time. But it does warm up pretty quickly. And then it does actually, if you unplug it, it will actually keep warm for quite a while. So resin's on. If you're going to do something with me, you've got your films and you've got whatever mold you're going to use, put your resin on. This is my UV resin that I use. And I'll show you how we get on with it. I've just unplugged it. As you can see, it's just gone off because it was warm enough. Now I've got my 3 films that I am going to fuse together. So I've got my heat gun out, and I'm gradually going to heat it together. I've cut the sound at the moment because no heat gun, some people don't like the sound, but I am going to give you a short snippet of it for those people who like it as part of the process as you go along. So as you can see, I'm gradually heating the film, and as I'm fusing it together, different tones and different colours are actually beginning to combine and come together. So be doing that, and then I've got my it's one of those stick-on mirrors. You'll see what the other purple white's a mirror in a minute, but I use that to press it down, but get a piece of cardboard or something, just something to give them pressure for the film to actually fuse together. This is another piece as well that I'm just going to show you it again. I've speeded them up because I know I'm basically fusing them together. You don't know the whole process. So this is all I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to turn it off in a minute and give you some music to listen to just while I do this. Beginning to fuse. Can you see? Make sure you do the edges. I've found that it's a lot better if you make sure you've done all the edges. Now have a look. You see when I flashed it over, you actually get two tones. This has got the cooler tones, the blues and the greens coming out. Well, when I turn it over, you actually get the reds and the hot colours coming through. So always look on both sides when you put the film together as to which side you're actually working on and what kind of effect you're getting. Right, so just doing that last bit, I think I need a little bit more. And now it comes to cutting out. I'm just about in frame, as you can see. I'm cutting it out. I've drawn around it with the template, and I've actually used a coloured marker, a silver marker, because I couldn't see otherwise to cut them out. So you have to see. Perhaps if you've got something to score it a bit more, you could also try that. But just very carefully cut it out on the inside of the marker that you've used, the mark that you've got, so you can't see that when you've put it out. And as you can see, I've got two different sizes. So I'm making a smaller one and a much larger one. Now I've got my mould. It was very, very cold, and so I put my mould actually on my mat. It sort of like heats it up. Um, the resin becomes like lot less viscous, and so the bubbles come up, and it's got more of a flow, so the resin goes where you want it to go. Now, as you put it in, you just try and put it on one side and then let it flow, let the resin flow over it as you put it in to try and stop bubbles. That's what you're trying to do. So having done that, I then very gently started pressing it with my tool to let go of get rid of all the air. Occasionally you might get what I call a resin fart, and you'll find the air comes out. Just making sure it's all pressed down. And then what I'm going to do after I've done that is I'm going to put them in my resin cure and my magic machine, magic cure. And I'm not going to show you a lot of that because of the light. It's a very powerful machine. Please use black gloves when you are using one of these machines because of how powerful the actual light is. I mean, I put UV on anyway, gloves on with my UV anyway, because I'm just a messy creator. And as you know, if you've used it with resin when it cures actually on your skin, but UV resin hurts, it burns. So I'm being careful, although using film with gloves is not easy. So as you can see, the resin, I'm just tilting it a bit so the resin goes everywhere and all the bubbles have disappeared. And then I'm very carefully going to put it in from the top and then slide it in. And now I'm coming in with my tool just to dunk it down and get rid of all those bubbles from the underneath. And that goes in the machine as well. Then what I do is I've got a mirrored, something that you stick on the wall as mirrored. It's not a card, it is a solid object. But I do that and then I pop on the that so that it actually helps the light to actually bounce around. It also means as well that you can actually leave that and do some work in the other side of the mirror. If you try and use UV while you've got the light on, it will cure. So you're better working without the light around because that's how it's not going cured. UV is cured by light. So when I've done that, what I then do is pour a little bit to back it. These I'm going to back in black. Now I've tried putting the mica in, but I prefer using a bit of UV nail varnish. You might have to try a couple of makes. I found one that I tried it when it made the actual UV too resin too gloopy, but I changed to another one, and this one is a very small bottle, a trial bottle. All the links will be down below for anything that I've used, and I've found that this is better. I only make a little bit up with the UV resin and I mix it together, and now I'm painting it onto the back of the cab. Oh, see, the light's gone off uh, of the cabochon, so that it will actually bounce the colours back. Um, Try and go right round the edge, so you get to the edge, but you don't push it over. Otherwise, you have a mess. Which I'm very good at making messes. I'm being extra careful on my Sunday best behaviour not to try and go over it. This was the high density resin that I used. So even though I put the heat on it, it's still it's quite got a high viscosity of about it. So whether you do use the low, otherwise you will have problems. Now I've got a problem. Has so many things have gone wrong, but my tool's gone down. My power tool's gone down. So I've not made these into jewellery yet, but my next one, my next video that's coming, is all going to be some more UV resin pieces using the little window frame. So my tool, and I've got another coming, and so all this jewellery will be made up into jewellery. The beginning of the next one, and you'll be able to see what other things that I create with using UV, little window moulds, and Dichro-ish film. So that's all for today. Please consider helping me by subscribing to the channel, totally free, and it helps my channel grow. I'd love to hear your comments. If you think you've been really helpful, I'm not monetized, so if you would like to support me in that way, please look at the bottom of the description and it gives you the link to my Buy Me a Coffee. Anything that you do give to me, I am going to put it back into the channel. So you'll be paying for better things, different things that I will show you other techniques with. So thank you very much for watching this.